Hey everyone, so I wanted to talk about one other thing during the same recording session. I just did that video on DMC, but this one's about something different. The last one was about some stupid people, consumers who had made a petition, of course, to get the White House to pull DMC from store shelves like that's possible. But this next one is actually about EA. Now, of course, EA gets a lot of flack. Some of it deserved, some of it I think a little bit too harsh for some of the decisions they make. But this next one, I think they do deserve what they're getting. So basically, Visceral Games, the people who made Dead Space, they had an interview with CVG. I'm reading this from Destructoid, where they had a quote. They're going to be introducing microtransactions into Dead Space 3. So here it is. There's a lot of players out there, especially players coming from mobile games who are accustomed to microtransactions. They're like, I need this now, I want this now. They need instant gratification. So we include that option in order to attract those players so that if they're 5,000 tungsten short of an upgrade, they can have it. Alright. Now, I think the issue here isn't going to be that, that there's any sort of in-app purchases, as they call it, in the game. I think it's that it's so blatant. It's just, instead of resources, you're allowed to spend your in-game money, and I don't think that's really fair. I've been playing video games for a long time, and of course we always, we want to work for what we get because it makes it more rewarding. But even for people who aren't willing to do this, the option's always going to be there. You're always going to be like, well, I could just do the easy mode thing. It's like having cheat codes that you don't have to search for on the internet or something. So I really do not like this idea. Of course, there's also the issue, people are worried if Dead Space 3 is going to be scary because of this whole co-op implementation that's similar to maybe Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6 now. But I played the demo for the game. I thought it was fun. It wasn't too scary. I wasn't really used to the controls for it, but I'm not really worried about the quality of the game. But I'm still going to say, and I mentioned this on Facebook, do not buy Dead Space 3 until they get rid of this feature. It's not just something that you can like brush away and say, oh no, I don't have to do this if I don't want to. I mean, technically that's the truth, but it's the precedent that it's setting. If this goes on, maybe weapons you're going to be able to get later are going to be implemented this way. And they say, oh, no, it isn't. But think about this. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, would you ever imagine that you'd be able to do something like this? They say it's bringing people over from mobile games for that purpose. But they say they need this instant gratification. But they don't want it through microtransactions. They just want it to be able to get stuff. And I think Dead Space has never been a series that's been for casual gamers who are playing games like Run or something like that on their iPhone. It's been for hardcore gamers who like survival horror and who like sci-fi. But what do you think about this? Do you think this is appropriate? Do you think that it's fair that they're doing something like this? Are you going to use it? If so, what's your reasoning for using it? If not, why don't you want to use it? Of course, all those things. And what have you heard about it? If you've heard anything else, please post in the comments. It's important. Of course, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, all that stuff. There's going to be more of these videos. I know this one's pretty short because it's still kind of developing. But I urge you, until they get rid of this feature, please do not buy this game. I never say this. Ever. If a game's taking a different creative direction, I don't like saying something like this because someone might like the game, but I think this is a dirty business practice by EA.